Ladies, gentlemen, and of course, everybody between, welcome back to Spec Renew. And this is a video that you've all been waiting for, and my friends have all been texting me about, so we're finally going to do it. It's the range test in the RAV4 EV. If you haven't seen the last two videos, go watch those. And just to make it more interesting, what I've done is, in the last video, I asked people what they thought the range of the car was going to be. And so I have a list of everyone who made a guess of what the range was going to be, and we'll be eliminating people and see who gets the closest to the real range. So with that, let's get started on this range test. It's all going to be low speed. We're not going to be going above 40 miles per hour, and we're just going to be going around in my neighborhood on a closed loop. And we're just going to see how far we can go on a full charge. So between this video and the last video, I have drained it a little bit and then recharged it, but I've never done a full range test. I've only gotten it down to around 4/5 of the battery. So what I've done now is I've charged it to 100%. I just plugged it in until it stopped charging. We are now at 100% battery, and I'm not going to be using any AC or anything like that, even though I'd really like to. It's kind of hot in here. But let's go ahead and get started on our first drive. The lowest guess on our list is 13 miles of range. Oh, very, very important. Before we start, hold on. We have to reset the trip odometer. That's what we're going to be basing our range off of. So now our trip odometer is at 0. Our actual odometer is at 21,935. Let's go. One more thing to say about this test is I'm also keeping it in B mode, which will maximize my regen. And so hopefully that will give this car the best range it can possibly get. But we'll see. If you remember from last video, my personal guess is 20 miles. So we'll see how I stack up with all y'all as well. But let's just do one loop. That's around, I think it was around 3 miles. And we'll see what we're looking like at the end of this loop. So I'll see you guys then. All right, so we just completed our first loop, and the odometer is reading now 4.2 miles we've done. And our fuel gauge hasn't budged at all. So I'm thinking my guess of 20 miles is probably a little bit underrated, but we'll see. So we're just going to keep doing this loop over and over again. We're just going to chill out, put on the radio. Yeah, I'll let you guys know once I get to 13 miles, which was the guess of at Darwebesendung 7045. Yeah, I'm definitely saying that name wrong. But that person guessed 13 miles. So we'll check back in once we hit 13 miles and see how their guess stacks up with what's happening. All right, we officially have our first loser, as you can see on our trip odometer. We are at just over 13 miles. Battery's looking good. We've used about 1/10 of it, which is actually really promising. But now this guy, whose name I am not going to attempt again, is our first loser. Up next on the list, we have Mike in the Woods, who guessed a range of 25 miles, along with Bob9, who also guessed 25 miles. So, let's get back on the road, and I'll check back in at 25 miles if we make it there. All right, just above 25 miles, looking around maybe 75% state of charge, although I don't actually trust the accuracy of this very much. But that does mean that if we go over to our list here, and I get my marker cap off, Mike in the Woods is wrong, and Bob9 is wrong. And this also means that I'm wrong because I guessed that it would get a range of 20 miles. So I am also wrong. Up next, we have at Supercharged for Life at 28 miles. So, yeah, let's check back in 3 miles. Okay, now I went above. I went to 30 miles. Usually we're just over 30. if this is to be believed, which it isn't. We're sitting at 70%. But now we get to cross a couple people off our list, if I can find where I put my marker. Let's see. Supercharged for Life is off. They lost. C. Glan 9748 lost. Inkspot 101 lost. Wolf Green Fang lost. Kira Hafermaltz Wheeler lost. And now let's take it up to 40 miles. So this is going to put JL80, that person, Doug Out, Greg Hassler, Crab Donkey 6381, and Aging Wheels to the test. So let's go for 40 miles. All right. We are now double the range that I thought this thing would get. And it's still reporting we're only at 60% state of charge. Our voltage hasn't been dropping a significant amount. I mean, I am blown away. This test is taking way longer than I thought it would. But anyway, we have some people to cross off our list. JL80 Creakies is off the list. Dugout was wrong. Greg Hassler was wrong. Crab Donkey 6381 was wrong. Aging Wheels was wrong. And now let's bring it up to 50. So we're going to put the test Scottish EV owner, Sketch, Robert Serrano, and Nerdbird. And also, I forgot to put him on the list, but my boyfriend also guessed 45 miles of range. So let's put all these people to the test, and I'll see you at 50 miles. Man, I am thoroughly impressed. Even 40 miles is good. I did not expect it to last this long. Okay, 10 miles later. Man, I'm getting tired of driving in circles. We're at 50.7 miles, reporting just under 50% state of charge. Volt dropping is still at a minimum, so we're looking good. And let's see who's getting crossed off the list. Let me get my marker here. Let me switch camera hands. All right, let's see. Who's on the chopping block? The Scottish EV owner, off the list. Sketch. Guessed 44 miles, and we went over that. Robert Serrano, wrong, and my boyfriend also guessed 45, so he is wrong. And Nerdbird. All right, now we're going to go to 60, so we're going to be testing Chris 1436, Dustin Bird 2090, and Milo Hobo 9186. Okay, let's go for another 10 miles. Woo, I'm not getting tired at all. All right, we're at 60 miles. I'm getting really tired of driving around in circles. I did not expect it to last this long. This has now lasted 3 times longer than I expected it would. And don't get me wrong, I'm really happy about that. But I'm just getting real tired. I've passed the same people 4 times now, and they keep giving me weird looks. And I really hope they don't think I'm trying to scout the neighborhood for robbing it. I promise I'm just trying to drive my car until it dies. On another note, I will say acceleration feels weaker now. It doesn't feel weak, but it's noticeably weaker than it was when we started. So we're starting to get there. We're starting to kill it. But we still got a lot to go. You can see we're at 60.7 miles about, and that's around 30%. Our voltage is looking good, but under acceleration, it's dropping pretty hard now. Not into the yellow yet, but dropping pretty hard. But now we got to cross some people off the list. So let's see where we're looking at now. Chris 1436 guessed wrong. Dustin Bird 2090 guessed wrong at 58.3, very specific, but he was wrong. Milo Hobo 9186 at 58.5 miles, also very specific, but also wrong. which brings us down to our final two. One guessing 69 miles, nice, and 77 miles. As we get into these lower states of charge, I'm going to start sticking closer to my neighborhood, because if this thing dies, I have to push it to the charger. And so I don't want to be super far away when that happens. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go in 5-mile intervals now. So let's go to 65 and see what we're looking like then. All right, 70.9 miles. Still in the green, just barely. Our voltage is still looking good, but we have significantly, noticeably less power. Again, not like it doesn't have power. It's still fine. It still makes it up hills, but it's a lot less. However, that does mean that Fusion Gaming 8281 was wrong about it getting 69 miles of range, which leaves us one person left, Fury 1968. If we get over 77 miles, he'll be the de facto winner. But yeah, I'm going to start doing a much smaller loop now because of how low we're getting. And then once we get into the yellow, I'm just going to start going up and down my road. So if we have to push it back into my garage and charge it, we can do so easily. All right, let's see what we get out of this. All right, at 74.4 miles, our charge light came on. But I think it still has some more in it. So I'm going to bring this back to my road now, and I'm just going to drive it up and down my road until it completely dies. Let's do it. At 79.3 miles, we are now very much needing to charge. However, we're still going. I mean, we're not even in turtle mode yet. Come on, we got a few more meters in it. Let's see. I want to see it hit 80. Come on, we can do 80. And there it is. 80 miles on a charge. But, again, we're still not done. We're still going. We're still going. Come on, car. Let's see how much you can get. And she's done. She very quickly went into turtle mode and then didn't go anymore. So turtle mode lasted for like 2 seconds. I didn't even get a chance to pull off to show that it was in turtle mode. 81.2 miles is our final score. The range of this car, at an average of 35 miles per hour, is 81.2 miles. Let's get this thing to its charger. That's going to be a little hard. Okay. Let's see if I can like turn it off and turn it on and get it to limp to its charger. Let's see. Alright, I guess we'll put it in park. Off. On. Okay, we're out of turtle mode. Oh, but she doesn't have power. Come on, let's make it to the charger. We're downhill, come on. Oh, she's not doing well. Man, this thing blew my expectations out of the water. It got 4 times the range that I expected it would. Okay, let's see if it can make it up my driveway. Come on. Please. 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 Oh, she's not happy. Come on. Just gotta make it to the charger. Okay, we're good. We made it. We're basically there. We're basically there. All right. She made it back to the charger. Let's plug her in. She deserves it. And that means our winner is Fury 1968 with a guess of 77 miles. They were the closest. And we'll get into what they win tomorrow because I have homework to do and I want to go to bed. All right, it's the next day. Car charged fully up, no problem. But yeah, let's see. Our winner was Fury 1968 with a guess of 77 miles. And your prize is nothing. I am not allowed to give you a prize. It's not my channel. But yeah, you won. So good job. If you leave a comment, I'll reply. But I read every comment anyway. So Not much of a prize. Anyway, yeah, that's the range test for the RAV4 EV. 81.4 miles. I still can't believe that. Although that was a lot of driving to do in this car. It got uncomfortable around the 30-mile mark, but Chuckle Sandwich Podcast got me through it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing. Leave a comment. Like I said, I read all of them. Yeah, and I will see you all next week. Love ya.